Yeah, we're recording. Hi, Tina. All
Good
right.
afternoon, or good morning, or good evening to depending on who's listening to this at what time.
Right. Exactly. All right. So let me go in here. I'm going to, hi, Facebook, Lifelines and Turbulence folks. We're so happy you're here. As we said last week, we were having some difficulty with streaming to Facebook, so we're gonna try to do it a different way today. But if you're catching this later on, that means it did not do what it needed to do. And so you're gonna be seeing and I don't know why this is not going live. Hang on a
It's
second
still
here.
not
Go
doing
live.
it?
I'm gonna try. There we
Okay.
go. I'm gonna try to do live. And then I have been, for those of you who absolutely loathe Facebook, I have been trying to
Love
Debbie and I
hate,
both
right?
have been trying to navigate this. And
Hmm.
this has been okay.
A love hate relationship.
It really
It's
is.
almost like abuse with
Hmm.
It's
all
yeah.
Stockholm syndrome with our AI or our social media.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this. Enter the streaming URL, and it's not. Let's see. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm gonna paste. This is okay. It says manage passwords. I don't know. Oh, streaming page. Maybe this is what I'm doing. And it's saying something about managing passwords. No, it's not letting
Oh,
me go without a streaming key. So I have no idea what that means.
oh, okay.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna have my son ask. I'll ask him at a later time, and he'll help me
yeah,
figure it out.
absolutely. So we're gonna
Be-
we're gonna dive in. And again,
Hmm.
our apologies, everybody. You know, technology is not our friend sometimes, and just when we have it figured out, it derails on us. So here we are. So, anyways, we want to welcome Tina Bernard. We are so happy to have you with
Hmm.
us today.
Very
And
happy
Debbie's
to have
going to
you.
go ahead and read your bio so everybody kind of knows what you do. And then we'll let you take it away and let us know all the cool things you're doing.
Alrighty.
sure.
Alrighty, folks. We're gonna welcome Tina Bernard. She's the founder of the Badass Arts, a creative and emotional intelligence platform dedicated to helping women reclaim self-trust, rewrite limiting patterns, and reconnect with their authentic voice. Her work blends leadership, insight, psychology, and expressive storytelling to guide women, especially in midlife transitions through identity shifts, burnout recovery, and personal reinvention. Known for her thought provoking talks and grounded, relatable teaching style, Tina challenges high capacity women to move beyond overfunctioning and perfectionism into aligned, self led living. She believes transformation is not about becoming someone new, but remembering who you were before you learned to doubt yourself. So, Tina, welcome to our podcast. We're so happy you're here.
I am too. Who are you talking about?
Who is that lady?
My assistant was nice. Yes.
Please do tell. We can't wait to get all the tea on about all this.
Okay. So I'll give you I'll start with a really personal story. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm a writer and a thinker my whole life. I love to study, love learning different modalities. And I was a single mom. I've been a single mom. I had um, been in a very difficult marriage. It wasn't, not a good situation. And so there I was with two kids on my own, raising them 100% on my own. And the writing was something I was doing in the background. Well, fast forward 2.5 years ago, one of the practices that I do uh, related to relationship and manifesting my now husband, um, we're together. We've been dating for about a month. Okay, my husband Giovanni and I. And I decided to share a little bit of what I was writing. And I had written a manuscript called The Badass Art of Appreciation,
Hmm.
Living Bigly with Sass and Soul. And it's specifically appreciation, not gratitude, because some of my work differentiates between the two. So I want to see what this guy was like. I'm going to share some of this woo woo with him. And he reads it in a night and he tells me the next day no, we're in person. And he says, um, yeah, you're not writing a book, you're building a movement. I got
Wow.
so mad. It was our first fight because I was like, here I was, single mom. I had, two kids, yeah, tween and a teenager, living in San Diego, the cost of living, dealing with all of that. And I
Mhm.
was like, who are you kidding? Like, I'm sorry, but words don't pay the rent. They don't take care of my bills. Like they don't, cover my daughter's private schooling. I mean, so I was very annoyed with him. I said, "Nuh-uh," and so he was like, "No, like you're building a movement." Um, so he saw something in what I had been writing. I felt it, but he saw it. And
Mm.
about a year and a half ago, we had the opportunity to move, and one of the things he said was, "You don't have to work anymore. I want you to build this business." So we moved to Texas a year ago, and starting in October of last year was really when I got going because we moved house, the two houses converged to one, across the country. And so Badass Arts really was birthed. It was incubating for decades, maybe 20 years, but it was birthed in October of 25, and it has exploded because people, first of all, they love the name, and then they
Yeah.
hear me
Yeah.
talk about things like big leaf feels or doubt goblins or badass formations or radical appreciation, all these concepts that are sort of part of the badass method. And they're just like, tell me more. And I mean, some really wonderful acknowledgments have come recently. I
Yeah.
was nominated for the Athena Leadership Award here, and yeah, right. I don't even know who nominated me. You know what it is, Gina. I have no idea who nominated me, and I was somebody nominated me. I made it to the first batch. I'm not a finalist, but I'm going to go there in a couple of weeks and celebrate the three women who made it to the top. I don't know who nominated me. I just, that's just one of many things that has been happening since October. So what I realized was I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, which is to put a wrapping around topics and concepts that women in their middle years are feeling
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
such a way that they can relate to it. It's fun, but it's meaningful. It's a bit of science, it's a bit of spirituality, it's, nervous system. My background's I got, some science in my background. And so that's really what the badass arts is, the art of living like the badass you are, but not in that boss babe way, but that full-bodied way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, questions? What can
Well,
I? So that's a brief kind of, overview.
so
Yes.
long
And
story short, you started a movement.
Mhm.
according to my husband,
Yeah.
and yeah, and there's some other good things. It's so funny. I like to keep my feet on the ground and but like stuff's happening with this, and
Yes.
I'm just kind of like, if you've been speaking to my assistant Melissa, she's a wonderful woman, and we talk a couple times a week, and we're just like, where's this coming from? So
Yes.
I'm just the vessel to present this information to the world and, convey it to women like you. And I'm happy to go into more details, but you just share with me, which direction shall we go? Are we going to talk about ambition? Are we going to talk about relationships? What is it that your audience needs some oomph about?
I think, what really stood out to me, Tina, is reading this. And I think when we get to that midlife point of our life, you start to lose a little bit of, you had an identity of being a mother, a caretaker, a wife, or whatever. And then women get to this point where the kids leave the house and they don't even know where to begin on how to create the rest of their life or to live the
Ah,
rest of their life for purpose, do you know? And I think that's where we come. I think I'm looking through here, like, definitely what stood out to me was self-trust, rewrite limiting patterns. And Gina and I all have touched on this podcast too about manifesting and limiting beliefs, and we've had other women on our program who've talked about, like, just like, dumping those old beliefs that are hidden in the subconscious, to bring out who you truly are and, live for your purpose. So start with maybe like, how do they even begin to even figure out who they really are?
Mm.
I love that. Well, you've said limiting beliefs. I like to play with language.
Mm,
One, I like to write, but also when you present something in a new way, then it helps that person's brain go, huh, and activate it, turn on the curiosity, if you will. So what I refer to those as the doubt goblins, the shoulda,
mm,
coulda, wouldas, the limiting beliefs
yes.
that I can't do it. So, and when I use, so the doubt goblins of, who am I? Or the doubt goblin, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so, let me address that because I think what really happens is so much of the mindfulness community. I
Hmm.
love breath work. I love
Yes.
I love all of those, sound baths, etc. But I was always the one in the back who was rolling her eyes, going, I can't sit still for
Mhm.
30 minutes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
My head's going over to all sorts of other things, like I was doing insurance when I was in San Diego. Like, oh gosh, did I send that fax over to, and so I got to the
Totally.
point where I was like, if you're rolling your eyes in the middle of your, vision board development or your
Yeah.
mantras talk, we're soul sisters. Okay, let's talk about that. And so what I realized is I needed to reverse engineer in tiny baby steps to
Yes.
change my thoughts. But I had to not start with my thinking, I had to start with what I was feeling. So I could
Mhm.
say all I wanted. Tina, you're really good at cooking. But if I knew that every time I tried to make a pizza, I burnt the dough, I knew I was lying to myself. Now, I don't burn the dough, but I'm
Mm,
just using it as an example.
Right.
So I
yes.
had to learn how to um, feel the truth of those statements. And that's why I changed them from affirmations to badass formations, the B for my company, but also B for belief.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
using the
Mhm.
pizza thing, I could say, I think everyone listening to this can say, I know what pizza dough is. You immediately, you know what pizza dough is, right? So the
Hmm.
energetics of that is very different from I'm a master pizza chef maker and I can flip it in the air and be, sing,
Right.
like some Italian aria, right? So I was like, okay, how far back can I go to where I can feel the truth of it?
Hmm.
Mhm.
And if you'd like, I can give you a real world example of how that came true, and it involves love.
Yeah. Yes.
I had been married twice, both were disasters. I had two children from those marriages, but I was in my 40s and single for years. And I developed this practice. It was my very first badass formation. I started this, oh gosh, about 3, 4 years ago. When I woke up in the morning, I would say the following: I am loved, I am lovable, and I am loving. I didn't think about a guy. Didn't think about a guy with hair. I didn't think about a guy with certain bank account. It wasn't anything romantic. It was, I am loved. And then I would feel the love I knew was in my life. I
Hmm.
knew my children loved me. I knew my friends loved me. I knew that source loved me. And I was just like, ooh, feel that love. And then I would say, I am loving. And I would feel what it was like to be loving towards the people in my life that I cared about. And then the lovable part as well, the parts of myself that I found were lovable, my sense of humor, my compassion, my curiosity. I did this every morning. Sometimes I did every night. It took 30 seconds maybe. It was a feeling experience. So it was my badass formation.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Fast forward about 6 months, I matched up with my now husband. We're dating 3 weeks. Okay, brand new relationship. He'd been married for 31 years and widowed for about three. And we're on the phone and he says, this is kind of premature, but I am so taken with you. I'm falling in love with you. And I'm on the phone and I say, I guess I'm kind of lovable. And he was like, what? Yes, it had worked. I
Yes.
had I had felt. the love. So this is an example of what I mean by the badass arts. It's not
Hmm.
Mhm.
going out there and being some boss babe. It was living fully. And so this was an example of how I used part of the badass method to bring about the most amazing husband. I mean, obviously he's amazing because he read my
Hmm.
stuff and he's like, you build this business,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And here I am in Texas building this business.
Yeah.
And we do that practice together
Hmm.
many mornings. There's a lot of other different modalities and tiny little things that I do that I teach other women just to help get past all of the doubt goblins and
Yeah.
those fears and those worries. Because when you hit this point in our life,
Hmm.
you've had a lot of disappointment, you've had
Mhm.
frustrations, you've experienced loss, you've got a lot of wisdom. Sometimes there's a gap between what you know and how you're living.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And my whole purpose is to shrink that gap. My
Hmm.
intent is how to get women to go from, I've read 42 self-help books. They're now on my shelf. So they're shelf-help books doing
Oh, I love it.
fiddly, right? So let's just bring one bit of that information. So a lot of the stuff I teach has been heard before. The women
Hmm.
even know it, but it's somehow how I package
Yes.
it that they go, okay, I can get it. And then they walk out. Like all of my
Yes.
clients, or every time I do a class, I'll teach them something different. Like I've got a class in a couple weeks, they're all going to get a new toothbrush, and I'm going to teach them something about how to brush your teeth differently
Uh,
to get your brain to wake up so you can put some better thoughts and experience some better feelings in it. So
Yeah.
little tiny shifts that lead to you don't get the same, you don't get like the big aha outcome, download, Kundalini buzz, but my God, 6 months later, you might find the love of your life,
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
you know?
Yes.
What I
So,
found is really one thing that I found remarkable about what you're saying is because it's true. Like you hear some of these, I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm on the road
Hmm.
and that, and they say, well, yeah, it's a little lie, but like when you're trying to do these affirmations, it's a little lie, but it's reprogramming your brain.
Hmm.
But what I'm hearing you saying is like if you're not feeling that authentically, like you're not believing that, how do you buy into that?
Hmm. Hmm.
exactly. There's the
Mhm.
resistance prevents you from closing the gap. So I'm
Right.
Yes.
very interested in finding the resistance, finding the patterns that we do, that we do all over and over again that aren't serving us, and then
Mhm.
just tweaking them. So much of this is adaptations from things that I've studied
Hmm.
or
Mhm.
downloads that I've gotten, like the I am loved, I am lovable. That came to me. I woke up one morning, I'm like, why do I just
Hmm.
and and then okay, well, how am I going to believe that? I'm going to believe it if I feel it. How am I going to feel that? I'm going to imagine holding my children. I mean, right, if
Hmm.
you've had children and you can remember holding those infants. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like your body just floods with the chemistry or the chemicals of that, So
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm interested in closing the gap in little tiny steps because those tiny steps add up to, in one case, my husband. I now live in the prettiest home I've ever had in my life.
Hmm.
And the doors that are opening, like the Athena Leadership Board is one of, there's a lot of other stuff. I'm just like, okay, there's
Yeah.
something here, and it's not mine to hoard. I can't
Mhm.
even say that it's necessarily mine to own. I'm just the vessel,
Hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
being woo woo.
Well, I love woo woo. It's
I
woo
do
woo's
too.
great.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how you said the shelf help books. I mean, I probably have all of them as well. And
Mhm.
what I really like is what you said. You've kind of like, taken a new twist. And you're right. Throughout the years, going back to like the beginning of self-help and positive affirmations from like 1920s or things that would be people used to listen to them on like record players, these affirmations. And it is you've taken it and and you've put a twist on it, which
Mhm.
is refreshing.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you. Because
Yes,
I
and
was tired
it's
of the performative. I was tired of, yeah, I probably made 20 vision boards in my life. You know what happened to them?
yes.
They're under my bed. Then I pulled them
Tina and I
out.
were just we were
Then the
just
shell,
talking about that.
the pages were like, "Nyeh," and I was like, throw
Yeah.
that out. I did not get that house. How come I didn't get the house in 1992 Vogue, whatever. So
Yes.
I was like, I'm done with the performative. If it's not going to make a difference, I don't care if the
Yeah.
difference is itty bitty.
Hmm.
It's not part
And
of my thing.
yes,
Mhm.
and the great thing about that is what you're saying, as well, or what I'm understanding, is that everybody, tunes into a different radio station. Do you know what I'm saying? And it resonates with them. Meaning, like what you've got, you're gonna have, these amount of people, women or whomever, they're gonna be like, oh my God, thank God. Yes, this is
My
what
dog goblin.
Right,
this is
right.
what I totally understand what she's saying. I totally
Yeah.
get it. So, even I mean, it's wonderful the way you're presenting everything and the way
Thank
I
you.
love the words that you're using. So this is really refreshing and
It
you
is
spent
fun because in my community where I live, the words doubt
yeah,
goblin, everyone's talking about it. It's like I'll be in a networking meeting or out with a bunch of female
yeah.
friends, and something will happen and she'll be like, what's that mean? Oh, my doubt goblin just got and it's really, it's
Uh-huh.
fun to see it because it
Yes.
creates a lexicon. On my website, I have like a whole lexicon I talk about being on what I call our soul journey. We're on a journey for our
Mhm.
soul. It's not a
Mhm.
sojourn, it's a soul journey. So these are all just playing with the words, moving our
Yes.
minds, pay attention so that we can
Hmm.
shift, itty bitty
Yeah.
Yeah,
shifts. That's my
Yes.
goal.
Yes.
absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Love
I love
it. Love it.
that.
Yeah. W and A were like,
Uh,
we love this stuff. Well,
we do.
and really like when you mentioned we just spoke about this last week
Mm.
with the vision board
Vision
thing.
boards. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I was like so into it. I'm gonna make my vision board and I picked the perfect spot on the wall that I would make sure that I would look at it at all times, right? And in my bedroom going into my bathroom. Nice wall, perfect
Hmm.
size for that board. And all I did is walk back and forth past it. It
I've
was
done
like
it
a piece of
too.
wallpaper.
I know, and
They
all
work
the
for
tall.
me. My kids, they work so well for me that my children are like, please stop putting me on your vision board.
Oh, I love that. You see
my
people with the
my
castle
son's
and the
getting
Lear
married
jet.
this my son's getting married this year, but before they were just planning like maybe like a courthouse wedding or something like that. So on my vision board, wrapped in gold glitter, was wedding of the year, and now we're having this huge wedding.
Okay, I but you just differentiated what's different.
Yeah.
Your son was engaged.
Yes.
That was a very believable
True.
shift.
Yes.
It
Mhm.
wasn't that you were saying we're going to get married on the moon. You may have
Yes.
Right.
some, it was a beautiful stretch. It was and energetically you could lean into that. So now they're
Yeah.
having a
Yes.
beautiful
No,
wedding,
absolutely.
you know?
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's the energetics that I'm interested in is like how
Yes.
can, the law of attraction, law of vibration, law of polarity, all that
Yes.
stuff
Yes. Yes.
is in the
Yes.
behind the scenes here. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's
Yeah.
the great thing about stuff like that, like woo woo law of attraction and all that stuff, is that there's so many different, channels and connections to kind of like, and to kind of, fine tune to what, works for you in a way. So I
Yeah.
just am like, like I said, tickled about like just about all the stuff that you are mentioning is just great. It just wakes you up, wakes your brain up, like you said.
And I think the crux of it is like in the goblins that we all
Yes.
deal with. That's the huge thing for so many people, especially
Yes.
women, is like what those voices that are going. Those two little guys on your shoulders.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Totally.
And so, one thing I will do is, there's modalities that I work in, like positive intelligence. It's a training program that out of Stanford, and it's really about uh, using your senses to get more grounded. And so,
Mhm.
if we can, let's take there's a doubt goblin self-trust is a big one. And
Mhm.
I just recently wrote a piece a bit about ambition. And so we might doubt ourselves. Are we too old, for example, to pursue something of our dreams, right? Can I
Mhm.
really do that? Well,
Mhm.
um, if we allow the fears to grow, we'll never start.
Yeah.
And if we try to eat that whale in the first sitting. The idea will make us gag. So what if we just say, hey, today I'm just going to do one little thing towards it. I'm going to go on the computer and search on whatever the topic you might be interested in.
Mhm.
Like maybe somebody wants to open up an Etsy store. And all I'm going to
Yes.
do today is I'm going to just create an Etsy account. I'm not going to build a store. I'm not going to put a shopping cart, you know. So
Yes.
that then starts to shrink that doubt goblin of I can't do this or I'm not capable or I can't trust myself because took
Right.
a little baby step,
Mhm.
you know.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the things I'm very I think is the key to it is for me at least and for the women who are drawn to this kind of work. Um, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, and
Yes.
make it fun.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
I
Mhm.
think women our age have the most doubt goblins hanging around than any other like demographic. I mean, any other age group. I feel like we're
Well, and
the
then
when
we
you
have
talk to all
society
these
that
women,
feeds into it, you know. You
we're
have people that feed it too.
yes, no, totally. Because when I meet different women all the time, different people all the time, and then one of the things when someone's like in our age group and has an idea, they're plagued with the doubt goblin for sure. Like you see now I can't unsee them. The doubt goblins popping up.
now, um,
I can't
I
unsee them now. But it's like,
I I do these events in my home. I call them salons. I call them the Badass Art Salon Series. And I did
oh, I
Doubt
love.
Goblins last month. This month, in a couple of weeks, or I guess it's next week. So, yeah, we're talking about big leaf feels, which
Mhm.
is the emotion, going to the emotional experience that women have and how we can avoid feelings. And it's not in our best interest to do so. But I did talk about the doubt goblins, and I'm going to
Yeah.
have to resurrect that. And one thing I do want to do is start to do Zoom or online courses because inviting women in the community to come, I can have
Uh-huh.
like 10 women, but
Mhm.
I think sharing this in an electronic, like you guys are doing a podcast and sharing
Yeah.
how you can identify a doubt goblin and then how can you work with it.
Mhm.
Like once I've named it, sometimes I'll just imagine it's a little troll and name it. And then, okay, let's
Mhm.
have a conversation.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
are you familiar with the Byron Katie? Do you know who Byron Katie is?
Yeah, I love Byron Katie. She's one of my favorites. She
Right?
does the
Okay.
work. I love her.
The work is a beautiful way
Hmm.
to address a doubt goblin. Is it true?
Yes.
Are you really incapable of doing XYZ?
Yes. Yes.
Is it absolute true under all circumstances?
Right. Right.
How would you feel if it weren't true?
Right.
Mhm.
And then
Very
turn it around.
powerful.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I
It's
also
great.
do the Shirzad Hameen positive intelligence. What's the gift or opportunity? Okay, she's facing this doubt goblin.
Yeah.
What's the gift or opportunity here? What is this doubt goblin trying to teach you?
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
hard. It just
Yes.
requires desire.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Sit with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And it's in like 5 minutes a day. Like, I mean, that's easy. I mean, well, pretty much just getting started. But like you said, it's 5 minutes a day. It's not like you're, you know, doing this whole like
I don't
scissor
have the
steps, like you
time or
said.
patience
Sitting
Yeah.
for
there
that.
meditating because what you said about because I experienced that where my brain just and they say, oh, if your mind goes away from what we're doing, just bring it quietly back and
Yeah.
all those thoughts to float on clouds. And it's like my brain is like, gotta do this, gotta do that. And I've heard that from so many women that I cannot sit
Mhm.
and just in the silence and meditate. And
Yeah.
it works for some people. It works for
Yeah.
some people.
It does. I mean,
That that experience is what got me to say, okay, I got to do something different because
Hmm.
I'm going gray and I don't like it. So that is why I do it right when I wake up in the morning.
yeah.
I have that practice, and I'm not doing I am loved anymore. I do other things, other areas that I'm moving through and healing. And
Yes.
Yeah.
although I will do I am loved, I'm loving, I'm loved, lovable,
Mhm.
quite frequently because it feels so good now, right? I'm married
Yes.
to my beloved, and it it's like, wow, this changed. So, but in the morning, well, what I wanted to say though, so for the listeners, by the time you get out of bed and the day starts, half hour in, your mind's already being
Mhm.
sabotaged by so many other demands and frustrations. But right when you
Yes.
wake up, your brain is in a particular state.
Yes.
Leverage that.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
before you
Yes.
pee, even before you open your eyes, that 30
Yes.
seconds, you know,
Yep. I love
today
that.
I'm going to be open. I am open to possibilities. The I am is the basic one I do. There's I am, I feel, I do the
Yes.
whole chakra, but you wake up in the morning to say, I am open to the possibilities today.
Mhm.
And then just feel that expansiveness.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it takes you 20 seconds. Get up, pee, brush your teeth, see what
Yeah.
happens. You do
Right.
that for
Mhm.
6 months,
Mhm.
you'll be able to lengthen the time you do it. Maybe
Mhm.
we'll start at 10 seconds. Maybe you'll end up doing it for 5 minutes
Mhm.
if your bladder can hold that.
Right.
So anyway, I know I'm sort of talking fast and I'm sharing a lot. I hope it's not,
No, we love
too
it.
scattered.
No,
No.
that's how Gina and I do our best work as cat.
Yeah, we're scattered,
We
but
are.
it
Yes,
works.
it does.
Talk about your story, how you met each other, and where are you both calling in from?
Well, we met many years ago, like in the medical field. So we worked together in a doctor's office and an ambulatory care center. She was a front desk person. I was the medical assistant, and this is like going back to early 1990s, and we just immediately clicked. Gina and I had the same sense of humor. And it's like one of those people that you work with where you don't stop laughing all day. So we just, that's how we clicked immediately.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So we always had this connection, this, soul sister connection, based on like outlook, positive outlook on life, humor,
Mhm.
practical jokes and stuff like that. So that was in the beginning of how we met. And there was a gap. She moved away. We met in the Chicagoland area, and then she had moved away to Wisconsin. I stayed in the Chicagoland area. Although I'm filming right now from Destin, Florida. But we reconnected and talk about like affirmations or like manifesting. And this is what I found too, is like when two people kind of are like linked up in manifesting, boom, that just connects. Kind of like I guess how you met your guy too. But it's
Yeah.
so Gina's
Yeah.
like we both said we wanted to start a podcast. Gina,
And
wrote.
totally unrelated, like Debbie mentioned it, and I had already been thinking about it, and we wanted
Yes.
to have the same demographic. It was so
Yes.
crazy.
Because
And
both of
so,
right, and
yeah.
both of us did something after the age of 50. Gina became an author, and she's published 3 books after the age of 50. Remarkable. And I left a 33 medical field career. I was a supervisor at a hospital. I ran our COVID team in 2020, frontline COVID. I was a supervisor, and I became a flight attendant. So I fly around traveling, and I was just actually out on the beach here in the
Oh,
water. I was in
just
the
that sun
ocean.
kiss glow.
Yeah, I know. Everything is just, I couldn't even put makeup on. I was like, I really got, toasty out there. But yeah, I became a flight attendant. And even my friends, like, talk about doubt goblins. Your friends, you have to, even though they love you and whatnot, and they have doubt goblins too. And when I wanted to change careers at 53, they're like, "Are you nuts? You should be thinking about retirement." And I'm like, "No." I'm like, I really want to do this. And I did. Yeah, so she's not.
You basically said to them, you need to keep your thermostat set at that temperature. I'm adjusting mine.
Pardon me?
It's like thermostat. Their thermostat is set to a certain level, and you're
Yes.
saying, I'm raising mine
Yes.
up.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Absolutely. Yes. And
yeah.
yeah. Even my mom freaked out too. She's like, in her little Eastern European accent, "Are you nuts? You gonna give up a 30-year career and go fly?" And I go, "Yeah, basically."
Where's your
Yeah.
mom from? Where's she from?
Serbia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So my parents are from Serbia, but former Yugoslavia. But yeah, they like
Right
safe.
here.
Pardon me?
Oh, yes, right. Safe is very much where the Dow goblins like to hang out. Stay
Yes.
safe. Stay
Mm-hmm.
safe.
Stay
Don't
safe.
don't venture out.
No. Yeah.
But the problem is if we play it safe. If I may, I'm going to share my thoughts about purpose because playing it
Yes.
safe often holds us back from living our
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Yes.
That's
And I
right.
spent many years trying to figure out what's my purpose. When you're young, you're like, I'm going to get a tiara and I'm going to save the world. I'm going to be a famous author, and uh, we have these ideas, and through this sojourn that led to the badass arts, I came to realize that everybody has the exact same purpose.
Mm.
And I've yet to find somebody who doesn't land with. So let me share what I think the purpose is. We are here for four reasons, and everything we do is to satisfy one of those four. We are here to laugh.
Mhm.
We're here to love. We're here to learn. We're here to label.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Beautiful.
purpose really hits all four of those
Mm-hmm.
in various degrees. The day we're born to the day we say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that if I'm doing one of those four or a combination of those four a little bit each day, I'm in service to a higher self, a higher being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
That's beautiful.
that's a badass arts philosophy on purpose.
Love that. Yes. No,
Tina,
I
do
love
you
that.
have a question? I see you have your hand
You
raised.
raised your hand? Oh, it's gone
Just
now.
kidding.
No, oh my
It
God.
must have
I was just,
sensed your hand raising.
wait, that's because I'm half Italian and we talk like this.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this.
That's too funny.
That is really fun.
But
Yeah.
you raised, I wonder now if that will work. Okay.
Let's try. Let's try.
Does it work?
Nothing.
That's really funny. No, I
Yeah.
think that would be really funny, raising my hand in the middle of talking.
Right. Yes, I do have a question. I have a question for Tina.
Yes. What kind of questions might your audience ask? What do they like to know?
We I mean, sometimes when we're like live on Facebook, people will chime in. They've chimed in asking questions. Um,
I think a big one is like
mhm.
that we always ask is and I think it's important to because we have younger folks, well, younger women watching this.
Yeah.
And sometimes a man or two watches this, but what would you tell your younger self or somebody that's younger
Hmm.
as far as like what would be a piece of advice that you would share with them?
Keep your word.
Mm,
Don't make promises, but set intentions and keep your word.
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
I think that is the cornerstone for building confidence,
Hmm.
keeping your word to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
keeping your word to your loved ones, the people you work with.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that builds a muscle, uh, a fortitude, of resilience. I
Hmm.
would say that many years ago, in the very first blog I had published, was the first time I'd had an article of mine published in a magazine. It was printed, right? Goes back like over 20 years. I was super excited. Like, oh my God, my name's going to be in a magazine.
You're like Mike Wazowski. I was on TV.
Kind of. I was like, oh my God, it was just a local thing. It wasn't anything fancy. And someone very wise just said to me, this too shall pass. And I was
Hmm.
like, huh? Like, he wasn't raining on my parade.
Hmm.
What he was saying is, life is going to do this.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the lows determine
Hmm.
your highs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuck with me. So I would say, if I could turn to Tina of 30 years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
would tell her all the pain was worth it because you're going to build something really cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Love that.
And
I
that goes for everybody. It's not just Tina building this thing. It's what you're doing. You wrote 3 books.
yeah, she did.
You became a flight attendant.
Yeah, yeah. And I catch cats on planes, by the way. I had a rogue cat on the plane on my last flight.
Somebody brought their cat on a
Well,
plane.
people bring their cats, but this cat got out of the bag, literally. And
The cat was out of the bag.
as we're
R
taking
R R
off,
R.
as we're taking off, the call lights go on, and I'm like walking like this on an airplane, chasing a cat. And I grab the cat, and I'm like, "Whose cat is this?" So,
The
but
poor
it was
thing.
yeah, I know the poor thing. But good thing I have cats in it. But honestly, Tina, everybody, I use humor in everything, even during a catastrophe. So it was like it was like I know so
Talk
bad,
about play on words.
but I mean,
That was
I've
kind
had.
of it.
It's kind of funny because you're making me realize, like, I kind of go through my day. Crazy things happen on an airplane, catching cats and things like that. But it's like, I've had people come off the airplane. I'm usually doing the announcements, and they're like, "Thank you so much. Oh my God, you were so funny," or whatever. Like, I have people thanking me, like, of how I made them feel, I guess, So that's what I'm learning right now is like, how I made them feel like, "Oh, you were really funny," or "Thank you for, I'm really allergic to cats." And so, but it's like, I didn't shame the woman who had the cat out of the bag because I asked whose cat is it, and everybody pointed to the person.
So was she like hiding in
I'm
the
like,
cat? Is she
here's
like,
the cats. I literally looked like I lifted Simba up, like in Lion King, and offered him back to his owner. But
was
no,
the
I
cat
mean,
just like spooked out? Was he just confused? And
I don't know. He was, you know what? Yeah, I grabbed him by the scruff and held his, so he was okay up until like I started giving him back to his owner, and then he kind of freaked out. But I mean, it was just like it was so funny. It was an adventure. It was funny. It was scary too because it was bumpy and stuff like that. But and people were allergic. But I after that flight, honestly, is like I'm like, oh, okay. Well, there's part of purpose. Like you're talking about, Tina. So you've actually like kind of like made me remember that maybe I
oh,
was
good.
supposed, figure out what my purpose is, even though it's pretty random.
Well,
So,
and
Well,
really, all
okay,
those
so
people are leaving with like this
laugh.
funny story, right?
oh, total, yeah.
That
And I
they'll
got on
tell
the
other
air.
people,
No, I told her
You bring joy. Laugh is about bringing joy.
it
Experience.
is.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
told them on the intercom if I find this video on TikTok, they're in trouble.
Did anybody
They
take a
better not
video?
find this on TikTok. Yeah, I don't want to be that lady on TikTok either. So that's like wrangling cats. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Like I think turning situations that could have been, a little into calm and funny and just like see the humor out of it. So I think that's what it was, what we did.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask you too. We always ask our guests like what book that they would recommend or a book, your favorite book. I think it was what book did you find inspirational or helpful that you would recommend to other women over 50? So we're really curious of all your self-help books, which ones?
I was like, which book over there do I want? Can I recommend authors?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I love Greg Braden. Do you know who Greg Braden is?
No.
Gregg Braden. He has a lot
Is he
of
the guy
stuff
with the grayish hair? I
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking. I just discovered him. Yes, yes.
I've read several of his books. I love listening
Okay.
to his videos, and he's got a very soothing voice, but he's just so deep. I love
Hmm.
his humility. I love his depth. I love his insight. The first book I read of his talked about just the mystical nature of our DNA and
Hmm.
ancient languages and how the name of God is in our DNA, and it blew me away. So he's definitely one of my favorite authors.
Hmm.
And The way I read books, I'm ashamed to say it because as a child, we're of the generation where we read books, right? You could read two, three, four, five books a week when we were
Hmm.
younger because we didn't have all the technology we have today. But
Mm.
now what I do is I just have a few books going at a time, and I'll just open up and I'll read a few pages. Because
Hmm.
I'm drawn to nonfiction. My
Hmm.
days of Harlequin romance are over.
Same.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, same.
I
Hmm.
like nonfiction, and sometimes that can be very meaty and very weighty. So I might just read two or three pages.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
Yes,
love
that's
that.
wonderful.
but my bookshelf, there's some of my current right
What you got over there? We're trying to see what's over there.
a little far away. How about I text you later? I'll email you later.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
So yeah, those are some of my. But tell me about burnt glove boxes because that's one of your books.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I have volume one and two, and they're short essays of Murphy's Law scenarios. So it's a blend of Chicken Soup for the Soul meets Murphy's Law. And so it's mishaps and conundrums in life. And then the most recent one, Animal Mayhem, that is so I it's an anthology. So I had other writers that submitted their animal mishaps, which Debbie, you missed the boat on that one, but I might have to do another animal one just to get your
I would
story.
have done the cat, the cat catching story. I would have been
But
perfect.
So I
she
ended up,
didn't miss the boat. She missed the plane.
yeah,
I
right,
did. I missed that flight.
right,
It
that's
took off
right.
without me.
But I had writers from around the globe who submitted story. I discovered it when we were going to make sure that each of the writers got a copy of
Mm.
Animal Mayhem, and I discovered that we have a writer from Israel in there. We have writers from Canada and United States. So I'm like, what? How did she find out? So I'm very excited, and I'm planning on doing more anthologies. So.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. We just
Mhm.
recently adopted a. So my husband has never had a cat. He was always a dog person, and my youngest just graduated from high school, so I am in that. You talked about that emptiness, like what do we do now, sort of phase, right? So this is my new baby. He's a badass arts. Uh,
Yeah.
but he was traveling, and we've been talking about getting a dog, and we decided no because now we have the freedom to go. We want to go places. So he was on a business trip, and at 4 in the morning, I woke up. I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
So I did this stupid thing, but it was meant to be. I got on Facebook. You do that this middle, forward look scrolling. And the very
Yeah.
first thing that pops up was this woman who was basically saying, help, found this cat in the rain. I'm allergic to cats. I don't want to bring her to a shelter. I'm just looking for someone who'll take her. And she had probably 50 messages of people telling her exactly what she didn't want, which was things like, let the cat outside, it'll go find its home. And she's responding to them saying, it's
Mm,
not going outside. It's afraid of the rain. It's a very
Yeah.
friendly cat. I'll
yeah.
take it to my shelter. So she was, you could just see she was being badgered by all these people telling her what to do.
Hmm.
So I look at it and I commented, it was an anonymous post. And I said, she reminds me of my first cat I had, a calico named Samantha. If you still have her, I'm interested. That was about
Mm.
4:30. At 4:50, I get a notice from my messenger. She's like, this is so and so. Was the one with the post. She had gone on to delete the post because she was so frustrated, and my message came up. And so she said, are you still interested in the cat? I said, yes. But why
Mhm.
are we both up at 4:30? Like, what are we doing? What are we? And she's a teacher. She gets up
Yeah.
at 4:30 to prep for school, and I couldn't sleep because my husband was away. So
Mhm.
I texted my husband about 6:30, and all I said was, I did a thing.
Good thing.
And
I'm
then we
picking
have
up the litter box today.
I did a thing. And he was like, I had a feeling the thing was four-legged with whiskers, but now that's how it
Oh.
ended with Presley the cat. And she's about this big. She's a tiny little calico. And the man who's never had a cat before is so smitten with that
Oh,
kitten.
yes.
Yeah.
You're
That's
so
He,
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
that's the
so
story of how it's nothing, no mayhem with her. It was more just the mayhem of how we got her.
yeah.
right, right. Love it.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, it's how wonderful she came into your life too, because now you're loved by a cat. too.
That's right. That's important.
She came about a month before my daughter graduated from high school, so we got her in
Oh,
May. Yeah,
yes,
So
perfect.
much fun.
Amazing how
empty
things work
nest.
like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
emptiness. Yep.
Hmm. She's there to fill the nest.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she feels it. She's a
Yeah.
calico. You familiar
Yeah.
with them?
Hmm. We had one.
They're talkative.
Hmm.
We have two black cats at home.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they're funny. But and Gina's a cat person too, so she has cats
Hmm.
too.
Yeah.
They're great.
Cool. So if people want to learn more about you, Tina, or connect with you in some way, I know you mentioned that you are wanting to do online classes and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. What's the best way for them to connect with you?
So they can come to my website. It's
Okay.
just thebadassarts.com. They can find me on Facebook. I do want to invite anybody who's listening who wants to join my Facebook group. I've got a Facebook group called the Badass Arts Community. And
Okay.
you both are welcome too. It's a growing group. It's
Yes.
private, and it's just where women who are interested in living with more sass, more soul, more substance can come and share. So that's
Yes.
more of a community place where people can post their stuff and ask their questions. And I definitely prompt to get engagement. Um, I didn't really talk about this, but I do have a signature program that I do in I did it this year in January, February, March, and I'm going to do it again for 2027. And that is a program called Love Like a Badass. And that's how I'm
Mm,
teaching women in this middle
yes.
years who find themselves single or don't
Yes.
want to do the dating the way it's done now, because right now it's cuckoo and crazy and they feel like they're just
Hmm.
meeting a bunch of toads.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's not a dating program, although I'm trained as a dating coach. I didn't mention that, but I do have training in that. But this is really about a love cultivating program. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be in January. So that's my next online program. I'm not going to do the salons just yet. The salons are in person. The
Hmm.
group is available to everyone. That's a
Okay.
private group on Facebook, and they can follow my professional page on Facebook as well. So
Okay.
professional page, website, uh, the group, and I'd love to have both of you in there.
Hmm.
And it's not salesy. I don't do, it's not like where people just post their stuff. No, this is women, I'd say from 40 to 60 who are just wanting to communicate like that with this and want to explore things like radical appreciation and all these other things. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
does that
Okay.
answer your question?
It does. And we'll post your links on
Yes.
when we post the
The group and
video.
everything. We'll
Yeah, and
post
we'll
all of
share
that.
that with you as well, so you can share with your people as
Mhm.
well.
And
I
I'll
will
invite
ask.
people to the group too, like
Yeah.
on my personal like
Yeah.
Facebook as well, just
Mhm.
invite people when I
Yeah.
start
For
following
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Are both your accounts, I'm just writing this down because
Ah.
are both of your accounts under your names? Because I'll send an invitation when we get off this
You,
podcast.
you know what,
Yeah.
Gina, go ahead. Yours is
Mine,
right.
mine's Gina Berry Ramsey.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And then I also have my author page, but send it to my personal.
Yeah. Then
I'm following your author page.
What's that?
Excuse me. I'm following your author page. I found
Oh,
it
good,
earlier and
good,
I thought,
good.
yeah, of
Thank
oh,
you. Thank you.
nice.
course.
So you can put I have it right now as Deb and then Jove T, but I'm gonna change it to Therese, my last name. I was thinking that today. To change my Facebook last name to Therese again, like my regular name. I was like incognito.
Right. You want your privacy, but you also want people to find what you so they can understand what you're doing.
Yes, I
Right.
think I've come to like, yes, it's absolutely, and also with, my job, I don't like, I don't know, like I'll post like, fun videos of my travels and stuff, but I don't want people to know who I am. So, but but anyway, yes.
Yeah.
So Debbie Therese. So Debbie Therese. I am gonna change my Facebook back to Debbie Therese. So it's
Wonderful.
yes, yes, yes.
Hopefully, it doesn't mess up our our
Facebook's going to make you prove who you are. You're going to have to do that scan
Oh
thing.
my gosh, one more thing. Yeah, I
It's
know.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yes.
We
Oh,
all grew up in I think women, you had said something about how we have a lot of doubt goblins, but I also think that women are, if I could leave on this note,
Hmm.
women of our generation are the last who were raised feral.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
that really gave us some skill sets that this generation, we have thicker skin. We come
Mhm.
installed with Teflon coating. We can just pull it out of our
Yes.
back pocket and spray ourselves.
Hmm.
You know, in some ways, we are gifted to understand it, be it to straddle different worlds. We
Hmm.
function very well in this world, but we
Hmm.
remember a different, quieter, sweeter
Yeah.
time. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that comes with a lot of responsibility. If
Hmm.
if only to remember that we really are badasses.
Yeah.
Our generation's pretty badass.
Yeah,
Speaking
absolutely.
of cats, we were released like cats into the wild by our parents. Go outside and play. And they didn't even question it until like they hoped that we would return home at
Yes.
night.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
TV, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yep,
No,
yep,
Oh,
no. Well,
yep.
I had another layer, which is very interesting, Tina. I can't wait to join your group and everything. The other layer that I had was that combined with very critical, like a Balkan mother. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
if your mom is from like the Balkans, Eastern Europe, like you literally had to fight for survival. Like there was just constant criticism growing up too. Like, and
My
Yeah.
that's a
mother's
whole nother.
German. My
Oh,
mother's
that's a whole
German.
nother
Born
layer,
So
whole nother
yeah,
layer of
yeah.
stuff too.
born and raised. She has a German accent. Yeah,
Yes, so
Oh,
you know what I'm
oh,
talking about.
I
Yes.
do.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And that's like a whole other thing that I want to, look into,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm,
yeah. So, but yeah, women our age right now need this, what you're offering more than ever,
mhm.
really.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah.
we are
Thank you so much for
very
coming.
grateful.
We're
Yes.
so happy to meet you, and I can't wait to join your group.
Yay, I'll send that out.
Thank-
Give me till tomorrow to do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
a
And I'm
hundred
so glad
percent.
that you reached out. Or I don't know how you and Melissa connected, but she's wonderful. I have a really wonderful assistant. Thank you for coordinating this with her and,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
Mm-hmm.
doing
course.
this
We're
afternoon. It's
so
been beautiful.
We're so grateful. You have a bit, I mean, it seems like things are very busy for you. So we're so grateful that you took the time out to
Aw,
talk with
Mhm.
us and to spread your message. So that is, you know, uh, we just really appreciate that.
Yes,
well, I can't
Absolutely.
thank you
wait to
so
see
much.
this and I'll put it on my website. Do you give me
Yeah,
Yes.
snippets? We'll get it out there. I'm not very
Yeah.
tech savvy with that stuff. So if you give me the snippets, I'll definitely share it.
sounds
Okay.
great. Thank you
Perfect.
so much, Tina.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, ladies, for joining us, and stay tuned for our next episodes. Debbie and I are coming up on 2 years and going
Woo!
strong. So we plan for year three to be just as wonderful as the first two
Mm-hmm.
years. So, all
Love
right.
it.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
give us 1 second. I think Gina's just gonna stop recording.
There we go.